I've been thinking for the past month, maybe or two, what is a computer program or what is a mobile application in general? What's a program? So pause here, take a moment, think about it, and hopefully you have paused and thought about it. In my opinion, a computer program is just a problem that another human being faced in the past, and they have put their time, effort, and brain thoughts into engineering up a solution and writing down what they have came up in steps and codes that a computer can follow later on demand at any time, and follow these same steps, coming up with the same solution at a blazing fast speed that no human being could ever match. But which is amazing, of course. It solves most of our problems, and it's incredibly beyond our imagination what could be achieved of this. But at the same time, as more time has passed since the introduction or the invention of the computers, and more people got into programming, so they kept engineering and coding and programming programs that solved most of the problems and tasks that requires intellectual thinking and mental capabilities to come up with a solution and to find the answers to them. Resulting, which is amazing also, if it frees our brains to think about more complex and more advanced problems that humanity hasn't solved yet. But the problem is, as this happens, most human beings choose the path of least resistance, resulting in just over time, they don't need to think about everyday relatively simple tasks that are already solved by a program. They just take it for granted, access the information without thinking about it, which results over time more and more people don't even have to think about anything, which has a devastating outcomes and consequences that I will reflect on in a minute. So since more people don't need to think, they just consume the information. They don't process the information to come up with other more advanced information, or let's say solutions. And the brain, which is inside my head and your head, which in my opinion the most beautiful organ in the human body, is like muscles. If we don't use them to think and do hard mental work and intellectual thinking, they don't create new connections and new nerve connection and neurons and centers of our brain communicate together. It gets weaker, as if thinking does to our brain exactly what working out does to our muscles. Thinking more will enhance your brain. Thinking less and just consuming information that others came up with a solution and how to get this information without thinking will just make your brain weaker. So maybe that's why some societies, some communities, and even in general some countries in general tend to, there's a noticeable decline in the intellectual capabilities and mental capabilities of its members. It's because it's a society based on consuming information. They just don't find the need to think about any other problem, if they don't have the urge to think about it. That's not to say that computers are bad or computer programs are bad. Absolutely disagree with this. Computers and computer programs in general are the single main reason that humanity has achieved more in the past 50 years than what it has achieved in centuries and centuries. We have improved our knowledge, improved our understanding to the world around us and the how it works. The world, how it works in general. It's because of computers and their and the advancements done by other smart people in computing and computer science in general. I think there's two main ways to solve this problem for everybody and for generations to come. The first one, which is a better one, of course, in my opinion, if it could be applied, is that societies and your peers should encourage thinking about more complex, less urgent problems and ideas that could solve problems and push humanity forward, even if it's about a distant future, without an imminent problem now. This is the better one. But the second option also is encourage, if it's not possible, if the option one is not possible due to any reason, whether it's financial reason, technological reasons in some countries, people should encourage each other, and societies should focus on teaching the younger generations to think about problems and be creative. Even if there is a program that can do it for them, they need to think, because as I've mentioned before, due to all the scientific research, I have found that the brain gets better as we think. So it doesn't matter if you think about a problem that already is being solved or already has been solved or it's not yet solved. So that the main goal here is thinking, just using our brains, improving our mental capabilities, because the gap between some societies, some countries in general are increasing exponentially because of this. The smart people who got a chance to think and innovate and be creative will get smarter, while the unlucky ones who didn't will get less and less smart. I don't want to say dumber or more stupid, but actually this is the truth. So let me know what you think, and let me know if I'm wrong about any of my points I've said. And yeah, see you in the next thought.